Hi guys, and welcome to La Lucha is Real podcast. I'm your host Angel,
And I'm Edith.
and happy birthday to Edith.
Oh my goodness.
It's a little late, but
it's my birthday. Well, a couple days later, but it's my birthday. Angel surprised me. I didn't miss the surprise this time. Angel surprised me with a cute little set, a teeny bit older. It's so cute, guys. I even have a little espresso martini over here. And it smells like coffee. Thank you so much, girl.
I love how you showed up matching, going with the vibe.
Something in me was wear brown. When do I wear brown? I don't even wear brown that often.
No, you don't.
And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna wear this shirt. And I know why. It's because we're on the same wavelength. Yeah. That's why. So, yeah, guys, I'm officially 29.
29.
She's 29. Bro, when I say it, I'm just like...
It feels real serious.
It feels real serious, yes. It's my last year. Well, you've been in your 29s for 6 months already. About to be 6 months.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it feels, I don't know, just to know that it's the last year of my 20s, I'm just like...
It's getting real serious.
I'm trying not to panic. I don't know. Well, first of all, I have a thing with birthdays. You know how sometimes I get just really sad. Obviously, I couldn't avoid that this year. I still get a little sad. But it's more so oh shit. I'm 29. Try not to panic. I'm an adult.
Yeah.
I'm not a kid anymore. That's literally in my head.
I was just actually talking about this this last week. I was talking about how skewed I was talking about how skewed being an adult seemed to me when I was a kid. Because when I was a kid, the way that I used to see adulthood, it was kind of you got your shit together, you know what you're supposed to do, you I don't know, it was just such a skewed vision of what being an adult and a grown-up was.
No, yeah.
And now I was just telling my friend, I was like, dude, I feel like a giant kid with money now.
Yes.
I was like, I feel like a teenager with money. It's so crazy because that's so bad, because I feel like I had, and now just being married and moving out or living on my own with my husband, I was like, why does it feel like we're just fucking teenagers that have money now and we just get to have a sleepover every night? But I felt like I had more structure when I was living in my mom's house, because it was so easy for me to because she cooked all our meal prep and all that stuff, and so it's easy for me to just no, tengo comida en la casa, you know? But now that I'm an adult, if I want to fucking have a donut for dinner, ¿quién me va a parar? Who's gonna stop me?
Nobody. Nobody.
And so now I just feel I don't ever really know exactly what I'm supposed to do. Well, I know what I'm supposed to do in a general sense, but it's not I don't have all the answers. When I was younger, I used to think being an adult meant you had all the answers, because when shit hit the fan, you normally went to an adult. When you were in school, you would go to a teacher. When you're at home, you'd go to a parent. There was always an adult that, when you didn't know what to do, you can just depend on someone else to make all the important decisions. And now when you're an adult, you're like, fuck, I'm the one that's supposed to make the important decisions. And this can either go good or go bad.
Yes. I think it's that kind of settling in. Not saying that I wasn't an adult, a year or 2 years ago, but it's that's that idea just settling in that I am the grown up in many of the situations. I have to figure it out. I was already figuring it out, whatever. If it works, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But it's true. When we're children, we look at oh, when people are 29, 30, oh, they got their life together. They got all the answers. They know exactly what's the next move. And I'm here and I'm what is the next move?
And I
like,
think
what do I do?
Yeah, and it's so different because like our generation is just so different too, because I feel like you look at like our parents when they were our age and they're already parents, they're already married with kids, and like they have a solid job. And then it's just like us, you know, like, yeah, we have solid jobs and like I'm married and stuff, but I don't have kids. And like it just like looking at our parents' generation, they just looked like they had it together. Yes. Like they knew what the fuck to do. And I don't know, it's just like now me being this age, because I'm a couple years away from the age that my mom was when she had me. And it's just like, how the fuck did you do it? Like I don't know.
Exactly. Like when by this age my parents already had 2 kids.
Yeah,
they were making it work at the best that they could, like working their jobs, and you know, taking us to school, like getting it together. And I'm just like, I could barely take care of myself. Like guys, I was sick like for a week and I could barely take care of myself. I still had my mom, like, you know, like making me feel good, like trayéndome mi medicina, making me food, like my sisters too, attending to me. And I'm like, how am I supposed to be the grown up in this situation? Like, I don't know. I just I feel like when you think about like somebody being grown up, it's that same thought like when you were a kid, like they have everything together, they could do it themselves, everything, they got their shit together. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm that age. And I'm saying I don't have my shit together, but at the same time I'm like, I'm kind of like, I have so many decisions to make and I just don't know what to do about it. And I feel like I had like a teenager. I feel like a teenager in a 29-year-old's body. Yeah. And even my sisters say that, like, you're like a big old kid. And I do feel like a big old kid. Yeah. Like, I feel, honestly, it's to the point where it's like I feel younger now than I did when I was like barely like 18, 19. Is that weird? No. Like I feel like, I
mean, physically I feel old as shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Shit hurts.
My back hurts, like
but like spirit, like in you know, my soul, like I don't know, I feel very young.
Girl, I've been having that, like, no, I know exactly what you're talking about, because now like I don't know, I just feel like it's just like, tienes todos estos caprichos, and then it's just like, fuck it, I have money, me los compro.
Exactly.
And it's just like, I'm buying all, like, you know, like when you're a teenager and you want all these things, but then your parent is like being responsible and they're like, no, you know, well, I mean, some parents, not all parents, but at least like my mom, you know, she didn't get me everything I wanted. Sometimes I didn't even feel right asking her. Like I didn't feel comfortable asking her for certain things because, you know, we were living paycheck to paycheck. And like now it's so hard to tell myself no, because it's like I have the money and like, I don't know, like we've got into a really good place and I'm just like, you know, I can drop $100 on a perfume.
Like, let me just, I deserve it. It was a tough week.
Yeah.
No.
And so I just feel like this kid who has money now, and I'm just like, damn, if I really wanted, like, you know, whenever I don't feel like eating, I'm just like, you know, fuck it, we could just order food. Like, así de fácil. Like, we got all the McDonald's, well, I don't eat McDonald's, but it's just like we have all the McDonald's money now. Like, if we wanted to eat out.
Like, if I don't feel like cooking, let me go, like, buy some. And, so my thing is, like, when am I going to start feeling like an actual adult?
Yeah. So can someone answer that for us, please? Like, when do you start feeling like an adult? Yeah. Because I don't think I feel like sometimes when I think, you know, when I started to feel like an adult, there was a time period when I felt like an adult when we were struggling a little bit. I was like, why does adulting, I was like,
feel like a struggle?
Mm-hmm. That's when I felt like an adult, because I was like having to make really important decisions, especially financially, you know, like vows, you know, going to school to become a barber, and then like, you know, having to launch that business, as in, you know, a barber is like, you gotta like suck it up for a little while because the money's not gonna just be coming in. Like, I feel like when you're like a, you know, independent worker, like a, ¿cómo se dice? Like a small business like that. Like, it's not like clocking in and clocking out, you know, like you're secured a check for clocking in and clocking out. But when you're working for yourself and having to like go and like try to make that money, like it doesn't come in like stable, like as a stable job or whatever. So like there was this time period where you know, we didn't necessarily know how much money he was going to bring in because, you know, he's just starting out as a barber. And so we were heavily relying on my paychecks.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, okay, we're making it fucking work. And that's when I was feeling like an adult. I was like, that's when I was really feeling like an adult, because we had to decide whether to pay a bill or it's like, or, you know, can we set a little bit of this money aside to fucking por un capricho, you know, and you have to be an adult and you have to be like, nope, can't do it, you know. Like there was a time where we weren't going on trips, we weren't traveling, we weren't spending money on things we wanted because we were like, no, we have to be an adult, and the responsible thing to do is to pay our fucking bills
and say no. Pay your bills and say no. No, that's true. But even then, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think about like when I think when I felt like a little bit more of an adult, I think when I was living on my own and kind of just like nobody else was going to pay my bills. So not saying that anybody pays my bills now, but I don't know. It's just like I guess that's when maybe I felt a little bit more like an adult. The fact that I would just work and sleep and that was it. That was my cycle and pay bills. That felt a little bit like adultish. But even then, like, I don't know. I feel like now that I kind of changed my life and I like, you know, I'm living with my family, you know. So it feels like I think that also takes part of like me feeling younger or me feeling, because I'm like with my family, like my parents, like I'm their like little princess. Like they still treat me like that, you know. Obviously an adult, like more like, ya, tú tienes tu dinero, tú haces lo que tú quieras, like, you know, you pay bills. But they still like,
if they can go out of their way for you, they will.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
And I think that's why another thing that I'm just like, I still feel very young because of that, you know?
I mean, I have my own home and I pay my bills, but I think getting to a place where I'm not like worried about the bills so much, because I know the money, we have the money for them. So it's kind of like oh, okay, like the money being left over, that's where I'm like, oh, I think we get to treat ourselves a little bit more, you know. And so
get to buy a couple perfumes.
I know, which by the way, I need to chill.
Yeah, you do.
I need to chill. But no, it's an interesting feeling. Like I genuinely, okay, you know, maybe people feel like an adult when they're responsible over someone else, like becoming a parent, you think?
Maybe.
That's when, because I don't. I'm solely responsible for myself and for my dogs.
That's what I was gonna say. Me and my dogs. One dog.
Your one dog. Your dog. I was about to say dogs. Yeah. Now I have 2 dogs, and so it's like I feed them and I let them out. But you know,
it's not the same as a kid.
You know, it's not the same as a kid. I mean, they throw their little. They're expensive, and they throw their little tantrums.
Yeah.
You know. Oh my God, Canelo fucking chewed up one of my heels, and I'm pissed. He chewed up one of my heels. I'm fucking pissed. But then it's like, you know, how can you be mad at such a cute face?
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like maybe that's when you start feeling more of an adult. Let us know in the comments, guys. Like maybe once you have kids, like you're like, oh, I have another life that I'm responsible of. Like I need to. That's when it.
But who knows? Because sometimes I look at my sister, who is a mom. She's been a mom for 16 years. And even I see my sister as like a giant teenager.
Yeah, she's very young.
My sister, Iris is very young at heart. And so like I think of her as like a teenager in her 30s.
I don't know. Or maybe that's the thing of not like, of like always having like a young heart, like a young soul. Maybe that's what keeps you like
feeling young.
Yeah. No sé.
But then my back hurts, girl, and I'm like, oh no, that humbled me real quick.
I know, like I was like, because I went to Ireland. I gift myself every year, a solo trip for my birthday, right? This time I went to Ireland, guys, and it was such a beautiful experience. It was a beautiful experience, and I kind of like in a way reflected a little bit of like my 28th year, you know. And just kind of thought about like, you know, how grateful I am to be able to live up to this age, you know, and to be able to do all that I've been able to do, like travel by myself, you know, as a woman, like reflecting on like different generations that have passed before me, you know, that haven't been able to do that, you know, that maybe have wanted to, but it wasn't even a dream to them because it was so out of reach. And then that now I'm there, and I don't know, just honestly reflecting on life. I did a lot of reflection this trip, and it was good and not great. Not great at some points because I would get really into my head. But I think it's just like just feeling it all. Feeling it all. And now I'm 29. And 29, today we're filming this on a Sunday. My birthday was on Saturday.
So yesterday.
Yeah. So it's been 24 hours being 29.
Yeah.
And my sister wakes up and she's like, how does it feel being 29 for like 12 hours? And I was like, I don't know. She's like, you're old. And I'm like, yeah, like to my sisters, like I am an older age, you know, like they're like, damn, you're 29. That's old as fuck. But to me, it's like, oh shit, like I know I'm supposed to feel older, but at the same time, I'm like,
you don't.
I don't. And it's like, what do I like? Is this a right feeling? You get me? Like, is this the right way I'm supposed to feel? I don't know, girl. Like, I feel like 29. I don't know. Like I said, I always get sad for my birthdays for some reason, and nothing different about this one. I feel like it's just shit. 29.
Yeah.
And one more year, like next year, I'm gonna be 30.
I'm gonna be 30 this year.
Yeah. Like 30.
It's feeling real serious. I'm just kidding.
And I get it. You're 30. You're still young, but like it's the end of a like a whole, no generation. It's the end of a era. A decade.
These 20s were rough. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
I'm looking forward to my 30s.
Me too.
Hopefully, it's a lot better.
I know. Oh, better be better. Like the fuck.
It has to be better.
So,
what was your favorite part of your trip? Like, what is it? What was the most memorable?
I think the most memorable was definitely when I was in the countryside. And then just experiencing life, how the locals live it. You know, just like seeing like their day to day. Like just honestly that, and even like it was just so beautiful, like the community that like they're so very focused on community, and just seeing that, and like it being a reflection in not only them, the people, but also the place where they live and the little villages and stuff. Like I don't know, it was just so beautiful. It makes you think like, you know, there's so much more. I feel like being here, and especially the last couple of months, it's been very heavy. We talked about that. It's been very heavy, and it was a nice breath of fresh air to see like community and see people working together for the better, for their home, for their, I don't know, it was just so beautiful.
And I think it's just I think it's kind of like a culture shock when you go somewhere that is so community oriented, because here in the US, like we're such an individualistic country where it's kind of like people are not saying people don't care about others, well, some, but you know, it's people are just so focused on themselves first, and like what's affecting them. And I think it's very clear with, you know, like the current political climate, that I think it's very clear that people don't care unless, well, there's a lot, not everybody, there's a lot of people who don't care about an issue or topic unless it's affecting them directly. So going into like another country where it's not like that, like everybody cares about each other, it's has to be such a culture shock to like just see people care and being so supportive of each other, you know,
and embracing diversity. Like one thing, I spent St. Patrick's Day over there, guys, in Galway, Ireland, and we went to the parade, and it was so like refreshing. Inclusive? Of how inclusive it was. Like they made sure to acknowledge all the different communities that live there, you know, like there was Mexicans. I'm like, what? There's Mexicans here? I was like, oh shit.
I think it's interesting that one day a couple Mexicans were like, let's move to Ireland.
Let's do it. So there's a community of Mexicans y también Salvadorians over there. And it was just so beautiful, like seeing how people around me were cheering when like all these different communities were coming up like during the parade, and just like you see these people like dancing. They don't know how to dance it, but they were still enjoying and like appreciating like the culture, and it was just nice. It was nice to see like that, because I feel like definitely lately it's been very the opposite here. So I don't know, it was beautiful. Honestly, a beautiful experience. I definitely recommend, if you're ever gonna go to Ireland for St. Patrick's Day, don't go to the main city. There was another tour group that did the main city first for St. Patrick's Day, and they're like, oh no, it was so underwhelming. It was not one. It was a bunch of tourists. It was basically a bunch of Americans just there. Like this, it wasn't the genuine experience. And I feel like we did get a genuine like Irish experience because we celebrated in Galway, and it was just so beautiful. So I definitely recommend.
So most people went to like Dublin.
Yeah, for the big city. Yeah, and we did like a smaller city that, you know. So, and that's a big part of why I did it too, because I made my research and I was like, should I do Dublin or Galway? And then a lot of people were like, if you want a genuine Irish experience, it's gonna be with Galway. And I did it, and let me tell you, it was great. It was amazing. Even after, like, you know, everybody drinking and stuff, because over there, let me tell you, they could drink. Like, they could drink.
I believe you.
And I don't think I've ever drank this much beer as I did on this trip, because that's how much they just drink, like, especially like Guinness.
Did the beer taste different out there?
Yeah, I'm not a big beer drinker. But I did have a couple of like Guinnesses and different ales, and it was really like, I don't know, I really liked it. I really liked it. It tasted more fresh. I don't know. And it was just seeing, like, even in the pubs, how, like, everybody just dances with everybody. They sing. They're very passionate singers. Like, it was just how they just come alive. And just, I don't know, in celebration. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And I did a tour of Ireland, guys. So it was, like, different. We did, like, the cities, and then we did, like, different villages and stuff, like the countryside. It was beautiful. Beautiful.
Well, I'm glad you had a really good time. Yeah. You deserved it.
Thank you. I definitely was.
Have you thought about next year's trip?
I have not.
Your big 3-0?
I have not thought about that one. That's a good. I'm like, I know. No le he puesto mucho thought. Usually around summer, I'll start like brainstorming, but I don't know where I want to go. I you know how last year I was supposed to go to, I was actually supposed to go to Denmark and Finland, but I had to reschedule it because of like family stuff and stuff. But I don't know, maybe it might be that, like, I really, something about like the northern European nations. Me thinking about that. I don't know, me intriga. So, or I don't know, maybe Portugal again. Portugal, I love the Portugal, or Spain. You know, since we found out that I have a big descendencia over there. Yeah. So might hit up a couple cousins over there. I don't know.
For real.
So, yeah.
I'm fucking dead.
Don't you love being 29, Angel?
Yeah. So far. Kind of.
You got 6 more months, girlie.
I know. I've actually thought about what I want to do for my birthday this year, because I do turn 30. So, I don't know. I'm still thinking. I kind of did want to do like a celebration, just let loose, have fun. But then that requires, you know, me having to clean and stuff.
You're like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that part. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Yeah. I was like, I don't know, because I do want to do something, you know. I don't know. I feel like kind of like start the 30s off right, you know. Yeah. I did kind of look into like maybe doing, because I feel like the last couple of years I did do kind of like a birthday trip too, and it was I feel like these last 2 birthday trips were really good, like were really fun. Like we did Salem and a little bit of Boston, and then we did Portland, and we went to
that was a great foodie tour.
Yeah, Portland was great, and then we went to St. Helens out there too. I don't know, I have been wanting to go to Covington, Georgia. Because I do want to visit where they did the Vampire Diaries, and I've also wanted to do like New Orleans. But then my crazy ass was like, well, I've always wanted to go to Tokyo. So, but it's just so expensive.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Well, I'll see, but I don't know.
Quién sabe, vamos a ver.
Yeah.
Se le mete la loquera a esta Ángel.
We'll
it's
see.
like Tokyo.
We'll see what I decide to do.
I've always wanted to do Tokyo too.
Yeah.
Seems like so much fun.
Yeah. So, we'll see. But anyways, so I found this thing online, this page where they it's like a page that, hold on, I'll tell you what the page is called right now. It's called,
so mysterious.
I know. The page is called, sorry. Well, stop it. Okay. The page is called Good Chat Game. So basically this is like questions that you can ask friends, strangers, couples, people dating, married people and stuff like that. And it's like basically a bunch of like prompts. Like they have, like, I don't know if you can see, like they just have a bunch of prompts and conversation starters. And some of them are like, some of them are like 3 questions that will make you think about the world. Or how about 3 questions to ask if you want to get to know someone? Or 3 questions your partner will have the best answers to.
Okay.
So I found this and I was like, because there's one that says 3 questions your friends will have the best answers to.
Okay.
So I was like, let me ask Edith these questions.
Great.
I just think it would be like fun to kind of see what you would say.
Okay.
So one of the questions says, if I had a warning label, what would mine say?
If you had a warning label.
Yeah. What would it say?
Short story long. Beware. Beware. Short story long. That would be your label.
That is so accurate. I cannot keep a short story short.
Yeah.
It's just
you like the details.
I love the details, like all the useless ones too. It's just a disservice.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh yeah, this story, and then by the way, there was like something on the window. I don't know what it was, but like I don't know none of it. And then you go like this, and then but
I need you to envision what I saw.
You definitely make me feel like I was right there.
Yeah. I need to give you all the details.
So that would be mine. What about you? Now I'm throwing it back to you. What would your warning label be? My warning label that you would put on me.
Your warning label is "will be late." Doesn't matter. We'll be late.
I mean, it's part of my personality.
Yeah.
If you want me to be on time,
You gotta lie.
Yeah. Exactly. And I don't get mad. Like, if you tell me like, oh, like hella early, and then I get there late, but it's actually on time. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh shit, that's great. Like, you should do that more often, because that way I could be on time.
Yeah.
And every time I tell Angel, oh, I'm gonna be like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Angel already knows to account for an hour.
Yeah.
It's just part of my DNA.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the next question says, what's a memory of us that feels like it belongs in a movie?
I have a lot of memories, actually.
That feels like it belongs in a movie?
That feels that it belongs in a movie. Now I gotta go through my book.
Me making you think.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, this is one. But I feel like this would be like super teenage movie. Like whenever we would go to the parties and then go after and like go like eat, or like our house parties and stuff like that. Definitely teenage movie.
Yeah.
Or like when we just end up like eating like after we be so drunk.
Yeah.
Definitely a teenage movie.
For sure.
Or like when
there's so many.
Yeah. Or for example, like a comedy movie. When I was driving and you had all the food on, like in and out on your head.
Oh, that was funny.
And you hit your head on the car on the roof because I was driving too fast. Yeah, that.
Okay, I feel like for me, I think a memory of us that I feel like belongs in a movie was when we went to the Louis the concert singer.
Oh,
Louis the concert singer. Louis the singer concert.
Yeah, that definitely belongs in a movie.
I feel like that belongs in a movie where we're just like those people that are like just going along with it, like not knowing that they're about to be shipped off to their death.
Yeah, exactly. That definitely belongs in a movie. 100%.
And we're just like, where does this bus go to? I don't know. And we just hop on, like,
just get on the bus.
Yeah. I feel like that
parking lot.
Yeah, that was. I feel like that one definitely was like, what the fuck moment. And the 100%. Fact that happened as an adult.
Not even, we didn't have no excuse. This is what I'm telling you. When do you start feeling an adult? Because our spidey senses obviously did not go off.
No.
We were just like,
I mean, we were fine. We weren't in actual danger, but who's to know?
Unmarked vans? Like, why are you getting in an armor? Like, that's like safety 101.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay. Here's another one.
Oh, another time when we got like super high. It kind of correlates with that. Mm-hmm. Like super high. We were just watching Twilight.
Oh my God.
That belongs in a movie.
Yeah. Dude, we were so unserious.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another one. What's one way I've changed since we first met?
Oh.
And this is going back like 11, 12 years.
What's one thing you've changed?
What's one way I've changed since we met?
I think one thing you've changed is definitely being okay not being so in control.
Yeah, I could see that.
I feel like before, like, and you struggled a lot with that. Like, if things didn't go your way, like, you were very perfectionist, you know?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like, in everything you did. Like, as long as you could control it, it was going to come out perfect. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, you know, life... It does not like that, you know? And I feel like you used to, like, really be really hard on yourself when it didn't go like that, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like now you gotten much more okay. Like, you know what? It's okay.
It's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
Like the Demi Lovato song. Mm-hmm. It's okay not to be okay.
Yeah, like that. I think definitely you got him a lot better with that.
I think one way that I think I've changed since we first met to now, that... being so fucking anal when I was younger. I was so anal about perfection. I was such a perfectionist. But I think as I've gotten older, I've learned to... How do I say it? I think one thing I've changed is just... I don't know. I think I'm so unserious now. Like, I feel like era más seria. When I was younger, I was more serious. When I was younger, like, I wasn't as goofy or I wasn't as, like...
You didn't let loose as easily.
I didn't let loose as easily. And I think as I've gotten older now, I'm just kind of like, It
ain't that serious.
It ain't that serious. Like, life ain't that serious. Mm-hmm. It is kind of serious, but still, it ain't that serious.
No, yeah, definitely.
No. I think I'm, like... I think naturally I'm still a serious person sometimes, but like I think my sense of humor has definitely evolved.
Yeah, I completely agree. But even then, you were like always funny, like especially with your close ones. So I feel like I always got that side of you. I don't know everybody else.
Yeah.
I did.
No, I think I was, but I think I was so uptight. I was more uptight. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I also still made a lot of reckless decisions. I don't know. No, but I've definitely gotten better where, like, I think it goes back to the, like, it's okay to not be okay mentality. I think I've just gotten, I don't know, more
better
in touch with that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then for you, I think, what is one way you've changed from when we first met? Damn, I'm hella trying to think. I mean, you've evolved a lot. It's just so hard to pick like one thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, pick one.
Damn. I gotta pick one.
Yes.
Because I feel like you were always kind of go with the flow. So
I've always been, yeah.
Yes, you've always been go with the I feel like when you were, I think you were más reservada when you were younger.
Yeah.
You were much more reserved.
It's because I cared too much what people thought.
Yeah. I mean, you still kind of do, but it's definitely gotten better.
Yeah.
Like a lot better.
Yeah. Sometimes I wish I cared a little bit more because I'm like, fuck, I'm be saying some shit. But.
No, yeah, I think that's what it was. You were a lot more like reserved when you were younger.
No, I definitely agree. I feel like I said, I just care too much of what people thought or what they would say about me and stuff. So I try not to like, I don't know.
And now you get in your head. Yeah. Now it's you.
Now it's just me. Now it's just me and my thoughts.
Okay. So here's a fun one because you just went to Ireland. What's a place you visited that didn't match your expectation, either for better or worse?
Like it has to be like Ireland?
No, I'm just saying because you were traveling recently. So,
okay.
Like, what's a place that you've visited that it didn't, like, meet your expectations, for better or worse? Like,
me trying to think. It's because no. Well, it's because for this one I didn't really, and I'm just gonna tie it to this in the last place that I went to. I didn't really have expected a lot, but I still expected a little bit. I don't know what I expected, but I expected. But actual like Dublin City was just like meh.
It was underwhelming.
Yeah, it was like, it's because I told you before, like it, like, and even the girls that I was hanging around with, they're like, this gives very much Boston vibes, and nothing wrong with Boston or anything, but it's like when you go somewhere.
Well, I think like Boston has a lot of Irish people.
Has an big Irish community, but it's like I don't know. You just expected a little bit, maybe something more from such an old city, you know? Like I don't know. I just felt like
Well, I think you had previously mentioned that Paris was also one of those places that you were kind of like, whoa.
And I was going to say Paris, but the reason why I kind of didn't say that one first was because I feel like even then, like you could see a lot of history within the city itself. And I love that. And not saying like Dublin you can't, but I feel like it was just, I just expected more history to be. It's just so modernized. It's very modernized, very industrial. And I don't know, I guess I expected a little bit different. And with Paris, like, yeah, it was a lot of trash. It was dirty. There was, not it. But there was some parts like the city itself that were just so beautiful and historic. And then the arts. And even though, like, everybody says that, you know, the Eiffel Tower is just, like, just seeing the Eiffel Tower for the first time ever, like, even after you, like, seen it so much in movies and you... I had little Eiffel Tower things in my room, you know, when I was growing up. Like, seeing it in person, it's like, wow, like, I'm here. That's great. But yeah, it was very much, like, Paris was cool. I would go again, but I would do it differently. Just because of that.
I think for me, one place that I've visited, I haven't gone to too many places, but I think one place that I visited that didn't match my expectation, for better actually, is Portland. I think because I never expected, like, in my head for some reason.
What did you expect? Like, what did you expect in your head? Like, Portland.
Yeah, I just didn't think I would like it as much.
Yeah.
You know, like in my head, I thought Portland, because the main reason why I wanted to go to Portland was because of St. Helens. Like I wanted to go visit Halloween Town. And so that's what I was mostly excited about. But to me, it was kind of like St. Helens was like whatever. And then like just Portland. And then when we would go, you know, when we went out into like the, you know, outdoorsy, foresty area, it was just so pretty. And like, I didn't think I was going to like it as much because when I thought of Portland, I thought like, in my head, I just felt like, well, what are we going to really do in Portland? Like, I didn't really know. I just didn't think there was going to be much to do because, like, if you were to tell me, like, oh, we're going to go to New York, like, to New York City, like, I can already tell you, like, oh, I want to do this. Like, there's just a bunch of things that, like, I have high expectations for of, like, I've heard about them. Like, you know, New York City is one of those places that they get, like, millions of tourists and, like, it's just one of those hot spots, you know? And, when we went to Portland, like, I was just kind of like, not that I didn't have high expectations for it. I thought it was just going to be like a cool little laid back trip. And I just didn't think I was going to like it as much. Like, when we went, like, even just looking around and seeing, like, the architecture and how different it is than from Vegas, you know, like, the houses are just built different. The people are so different. Like, we met so many nice people, and the food was so good. And you know, it's not one of those spots where, like, I didn't feel like, even though we didn't do a lot, we still did a lot. Yeah. Does that make sense? Like, because when you think of, like, oh, let's say, you know, we were going to have a night out in Vegas, and, like, there's a ton of shit you can think of to do, like, on the Strip alone. I don't know. I just didn't, my expectations for Portland were, like, here, and then it just was, like, you know, it surpassed it. It surpassed it. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. That's really good. Which I think for another thing, for example, like, when we went to Seattle for my sister's birthday, I had higher expectations for Seattle, and then they were just kind of like, it was kind of like it was cool, but it was just like, it was kind of, it was kind of like, I was like, oh, okay, that was cool, that was fun, but I definitely feel like I enjoyed my time better in Portland. Yeah, Portland is a really cool city. Like, it's one of those places where, like, I can sometimes, like, fantasize about living there. Yeah. Like, I can be like, oh, how nice would it be, you know? Like, I think it had really good weather too. Yeah. And then I don't know, I feel like it's one of those places where I could definitely see myself reading a book somewhere and just, I don't know. Yep. The food scene is really good there. Yeah. Definitely. You know what other place, this is going on the negative side, that was underwhelming? The kind of with the Portland trip, when we went to St. Helens, bro, I expected that pumpkin to be bigger. Yes. Yes, that's what I'm saying. St. Helens was so underwhelming. It was like, I expected that pumpkin to be bigger. I was like, holy shit. And not only that, but, like, I think also because we went there the year after we went to Salem, and Salem, it was just, I feel like the spooky culture and their, like, history and everything, it was so ingrained into their culture there. Yeah. That when we went to St. Helens, it felt more like props. Yes. Like, they were just decorating for Halloween time. Yeah. Like, it's just like, oh, it's that time of year. And they're just, you know, they did have a lot of little, like, pop-up, like the little pop-up, what are they called? The little people selling stuff. Yeah. Like a market, like a little, like, it was kind of like a little market, yeah, where people are selling, like, t-shirts and stuff, but it felt more like props. Like, it didn't feel like Halloween Town was their culture. Yeah. I don't know how to explain it. And I guess that's what we expected. Yeah, because with Salem, it didn't feel Hollywood. No. It didn't feel like they were just decorating because it's the season. No, it's like, this is their lifestyle. Yes. Like, witchy vibes is their lifestyle. Yeah. And even if people didn't want to decorate their homes, they still had, like, pumpkins out. Yeah. And, like, even though, like, in St. Helens, people did decorate and stuff, but it just felt more Hollywood, like, proppy, like they only took, like, they roll out that pumpkin for this time of year only, and then they have to go put it back in the fucking warehouse or something. And and also that pumpkin should have been bigger. Yeah. And also it was so many people in such a little space. Yeah. I was like, it was such a little space, and there were so many people. Yeah. I 100% agree with that. Holy, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It was underwhelming for sure. A little bit more. But, you know, we did it. And now we know that if we want Halloween vibes, it's going to be Salem. Yeah. But if you guys haven't gone to Salem, you guys should. Yes. It's really cool. But also, FYI, the closer it gets to Halloween, the busier and more crowded it will be. Yeah. I feel like Salem is one of those, you can go, like, any time of the year. Yeah. And you'll get still. Like, yeah. We went early October, and I think it was good. Yeah, it wasn't that many people. Mm-hmm. Like, you could still see, like, because people were going because of
of October, but it wasn't like super crowded or anything.
Yeah, dude. And then the chicken and waffles that we had at that one spot, remember?
Oh my God, with the bees.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's good, because the bees were like trying to
get some. Which was so funny because initially when I was like, hey, let's go to this spot, you guys were like, Angel, where the fuck are you taking?
Yeah, Angel, because it was like
this hole in the wall restaurant.
It was like the back side of, I don't even know. It looked like a house.
Yeah, it was definitely a hole in the wall, but that place was so fucking good, and I'm so upset that I lost my syrup. The little bottle of syrup, I fucking lost it. I don't know where
it went. But yeah, let us know in the comments. What's a place that you've gone that's been like underwhelming or like exceeded your expectations? Let us know.
A place that visited and didn't match your expectations, for better or worse.
Let us know. We know.
Okay. And I think that was it. There's other questions, but we'll have to get to those later. We'll get to those later. But let's do Chisme. Yeah. We're just gonna do a short episode because we are filming kind of last minute.
Hopefully this episode goes up, guys, on time.
Excuse me. And we're also sick.
Add that to it.
Yeah, you had I'm just getting over a cold, and then
I am too.
Was it a cold?
It was a respiratory infection, upper respiratory infection, which is AKA a cold.
Oh, is that what that is? Oh,
yeah, that's what my sister said.
Oh,
it's AKA.
Then why'd they tell you all that fancy? Why didn't you just say it was a cold?
I don't know, bro.
Dr. Princer was like, she was just like, oh, it's a cold.
I'm like, okay, but my sinuses did get really bad.
Oh, okay.
So I did have medication for my sinuses, and that helped out a lot. And also like some spray thing, but I only used it a couple times.
You're only supposed to use it. I think you're not supposed to use it more than like 3 days or something like that.
I only used it like honestly 1 day or something like that. So,
okay.
Really good.
Let's go into Chisme Palmetiche. Okay, here we go. Why do all Latinos in Vegas use chispa?
They do?
I guess.
I'm so out of it because I haven't. I downloaded Chispa once, and that was when I was in New York, and then I saw the people that were in there, and I was like, "Oh no, and then I deleted it.
Yeah,
and I never.
But have you noticed that like Chispa has been fucking promoting hard? They've been getting like young people to. I think they want more young people in it, so they've been promoting hard. From what I saw, I'm like, why the fuck are advertisements for Chispa coming up for me? I don't know, but I think it's because it's more so like
Latino.
Yeah, well, I think some of the people that we follow were sponsored by Chispa. I think that's why it was coming up. I think it was a couple people. I don't know. But it says, and why do they all know each other? First of all, it's Vegas. Everybody in Vegas, it's like you're connected. There's this theory that actually you're connected to the entire world through 7 people or something like that.
Damn.
Yeah, but Vegas is just, it's one of those like, Vegas is big and small at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. You just know it. Even you don't have to be on the dating app to like know that Vegas is like really small.
Mm-hmm. It says, start off with a random girl and or guy and you'll see everyone connected by mutuals one way or another. Yeah. Yep. Telling you, it's like, in Vegas, it's like,
it's very rare that you meet somebody that, it has to be like, if you meet somebody in Vegas that doesn't have a mutual with you, it has to be somebody that moved
over here not that long ago. Yeah.
Like very recently from another state. Yeah.
That is so true. Okay. Here's.
I'm going to try Chispa now. I'm just kidding now, guys.
I want to see like.
You want to see what there's on there?
Yeah.
I might download it.
I'm just curious now because they said, why does every Latino use Chispa?
I might try it. You know, never know. I hope you're both prepared for this. Oh. I don't know. Am I? Long story short. Is it really long story short though? I met a guy from playing the game PUBG. Have you ever heard that?
No.
What acronym is that? I don't play games. That's why I'm like, okay. Turns out he's Mexican and actually a narco.
Whoa.
Girl. He ended up falling in love with me and would send me money. I started with small amounts until it increased to like 800 a week. Okay. My
Edith's like, I'm about to go start playing video games.
What? Me trying to see what the acronym is. It's probably something we've heard of and we don't even like. But my birthday came around and my cousins brought with them a friend, and I ended up falling in love with that friend. Let's call her A. I never told A about the narco and the other way around. The narco and me were never official, and I never asked for the money. He would just send it. Anyways, A and I made it official, and after a few months, my parents found out I was in a lesbian relationship. So I was kicked out and moved in with her. The narco stayed sending me money, and I eventually depended on that money for everything, groceries, gas, etc. So I never told him about my relationship. After a few months, I found out about the narco, and they ended up after a few months, A found out about the narco, and they ended up communicating with each other and connected the dots. A broke up with me, and the narco found my parents' Facebooks and exposed me to them, and I ended up moving back home. I never heard from A ever again because the narco got a hold of her personal info, address, and social security number, and I have her blocked because our relationship was so toxic. The narco forgave me, and we still talk to this day. Damn.
Oh my God. Holy, that's a lot. Wait, so how did...
narco forgave her.
I'm crazy how A and... Okay, pero también el narco was over here trying to ruin A's life.
Yeah, I know.
Got her social security number and everything. I don't know. It just kind of makes you think like, damn, like what happens if I like fuck them over, or like I screw up, and like what lengths are they willing to go to?
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Not me looking up the game. Hold on.
What? It has to be PUBG, right?
Yeah, PUBG.
What narco is playing PUBG?
PUBG Battlegrounds? No. What the hell?
Guys, have y'all ever played PUBG?
It says PUBG Battlegrounds is a battle royale that pits 100 players against each other. Players will land, loot, and survive in shrinking battleground as they outplay their opponents to become a lone survivor.
What's that game?
Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite.
Is it kind of like Fortnite? Maybe.
It sounds like Fortnite because it keeps on getting smaller.
Yeah, I know Fortnite does get... Oh, I guess that's one of those games. Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like this narco and her are like randomly playing one day and they meet each other and they start talking from like these little characters that they only know each other
from. That's
and then
so
he's sending
interesting.
her money?
And now he's like sending her money.
That is crazy.
So like, do they know what each other's looks like and stuff?
Like, do you guys FaceTime? I have so many questions.
Yeah, send us more info. I'm curious.
What's the relationship now like?
Yeah, do you trust this man?
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
interesting. Okay. Let's go. Last one.
Okay.
Hey, girlies. So I'm 21, and for some reason, I keep attracting men in their late 30s and early 40s. Interesting. There's actually only been 2. Oh. I think they take my niceness as me being flirty. One thought me swinging my feet mid-conversation was a sign of me being comfortable, but in reality, I felt awkward and was swinging my feet as a distraction. The other one wants to meet my dog. I let them know that I'm not interested and that I don't even want to date. But now there's some girls I became friends with and they invited me to things I couldn't go because I was busy. But come to find out that the 40-something-year-old was the one who asked them to invite me. Wait.
What?
How? Okay. Also, those girls know I'm not interested. Oh, they're fake.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. Like, you know, like, I'm trying to avoid this fucking creep.
Yeah, and you're gonna bring me in proximity to them?
Yeah, that's weird. Also, that guy met my mom. Whoa, hold on. Damn. What? This guy's really trying to push himself into her life.
But he's...
Like, sir, ya tienes como tus 40 y tontos. And...
Yeah, find somebody your own age.
Hold on. Okay. He said, okay, so also that guy met my mom and told her, you and I are going to get along just great. And my mom looked at him like, eyebrow raised emoji. What? It's just so weird. Like, I'm literally a baby to them, and they know my age. Oh, I knew the 40-year-old was a red flag when he only gets along with people in their mid-20s, because I know someone who's closer in age with him and they don't get along. That's a red flag. If they're only getting along, like, they're only getting along with, like, I get it. Like, we're young at heart.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
that's different, because...
That's different.
I'm not hanging out with people that are, like, half my age.
Yeah. Ugh.
That's...
Like, they can literally, like, be your parents. Well, keep in mind, guys, I have a thing with big age gaps.
Yeah.
In my mind, I can't. I don't know.
Yeah, whoever the hell recommended American Queen by Sierra Simone.
You're like, I have something to pick with.
I have a fucking bone to pick with whoever the hell recommended American Queen.
I don't know. It's just like, that is definitely a big red flag if they can't get along with people their own age. Mm-hmm. And they have to resort to, like, younger people. Like, what's going on? Mm-hmm. Oh.
Okay, I think they're telling us to get off.
Oh, I was like, I think they have a strong opinion about this
yeah.
too.
They probably do. They're probably like, yeah, get the fuck off already.
Yeah, and that's weird. Make your mom, like...
Yeah, that was we're
gonna
weird.
get along perfectly. Fuck out.
That's so weird. Okay, they're telling us to get off.
Anyways. Ay, los vamos a dejar, guys, because let's hope that this gets up.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, make sure if you have any chisme. I said chisme.
Chisme.
If you have any chisme, if you're watching on YouTube, the link is going to be down below. And if you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, hop on over to our Instagram. It's right in our bio. Mm-hmm.
So anyways, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
You already know. And that's it, right?
I think so.
Make sure to leave a 5-star review. Mm-hmm. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, anything less,
hit the DMs. And I think someone didn't get the memo because we just got a 1-star.
Oh, how dare they?
How dare they? They didn't hit the DMs. I'm telling you guys, hit the DMs. We'll talk about it. But otherwise, que Dios los bendiga.
Besitos.
Bye, guys. Oh, wait. What? Is this going up in April? No, this is still March, right?
Yes,
okay.
The last day of March.
Okay.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.